Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning. My name is Kelly Devine. So glad you could join us for Encounter. I am here this morning with three gentlemen who are going to tell us a little bit about an event coming up in July. We have with us today Mr. David Cook, Mr. Carl Silphy, and Mr. Ken Picard. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I will go through and perhaps you guys can tell me a little bit about yourselves. We could start with David.
In regards to the Spirit Fest, I'm one of the people that take in some of the ministries that we have at the Spirit Fest. Usually they're ministries that help within the community, organize, and also one of the band's members that's playing there this year.
Okay. How about you, Carl?
Oh, I'm a pastor of a local church in Coventry, True Life Christian Church, and God has blessed me with a piece of property, 52 acres in Coventry, that we want to use for events like this to bring honor and glory to and draw the community together, and also a roofing contractor. So.
Okay, keeps you busy. How about you, Ken?
I'm the music ministry leader. Also, I MC the event of Spirit Fest, and we've been tied in with the organization since our band first got into the playing at the event.
Okay. Well, I don't know who wants to take the first question here, but what is Spirit Fest?
Carl, I'm gonna let you take
Well, it's a way to bring the community together for a cause and to lift up Jesus Christ and celebrate. It's a worship event. There's music and there's different ministries that are coming in and sharing their ministries. We probably have about 20 ministries setting up tables, and it's a way the fire department's involved, the whole community to get together. This year we're raising funds to put a roof on the Methodist Church in Coventry. That's what our goal is this year.
Okay, so where does all of your funding come from? I'm assuming this is a free event for anybody to come to.
Yes, it is, and our funding comes from people that, last year we had TLC, and we have the Plumbing Tree Crafts, Boy Scout Troop 316, Solid Rock Youth. We have sponsors that sponsor people who believe in what we're doing and want to show one spirit and one community and worship and do things together and have a good time.
Okay, well, sounds like a good time. Well, maybe how long has Spirit Fest been going on? Is it a new thing, or?
It's technically we're in our third year, and God's been growing it every year. There was a year prior to that where it was not really founded and organized, but Carl had actually donated the property to God.
Right. The very first one was a 12-year-old boy had terminal cancer, and we were doing a benefit, and then the bands came in and we did this, and then it just like was birthed with that, saying we should do this all the time. We should do this every year at least,
So every year, this will be actually your fourth one?
Yes.
Now every year, has it grown and grown?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can give me some numbers. When we're talking about it growing, what do you have any idea?
Well, I think our first year that Three Crosses Bear Band played there, we had about 50, 60 people.
Okay.
The following year we went to 150, 200, and last year we had probably around 300 to 350.
Oh, that's awesome. You're on your way up.
Yes, and as the gentleman said, it's about the community. We want to make it a free event so they can come and enjoy without having to worry about a lot. And getting the sponsors to come alongside of us and join with us to do this, and we just want to share it with everybody. And God's given us the hands and feet, so we're going to try and do the work.
Okay.
And it's open to everyone. It's not just even though we're Christians, it's open to everyone.
Yep.
Everybody's welcome.
Awesome.
We just want to be having a good time. So.
Okay, so you have probably you have music, obviously, because two of you belong to a band. Yes.
Yes, we have. Last year we had I think it was 5 or 6 bands.
5.
Some are solo artists. Some are larger bands. And then we had a drama as well.
The mimes. Yep.
Yeah, some mimes going on there. So a lot's placed into the entertainment. We do have a way of getting a hold of Kenny Pickard if you want to be a band and play there some year.
Okay.
The fire department did a hose demonstration. They did tear a car apart and how they rescue people out of the car. And what was that thing they did? They actually had some type of competition with the hoses or something. It was a lot of fun.
Entertaining.
Yes.
Water fights or target fights with the actual line hoses that they use.
Nice.
So.
Okay, so you have a lot of activities that go on that day, and you were talking earlier about them. You're bringing people in that have ministries that can be a benefit to someone who's going, so you can enjoy the entertainment and in the same tent. Yes?
Yeah, right in the surrounding area. Yeah, it's.
What kind of ministries? I mean, maybe you can give me a little cross section.
We have a big top tent. It's placed on the land, and it's 60 by about 140 long, and so we surround ministries around this tent so that everyone inside the tent enjoying the entertainment and the music can also stop by each and every one of these ministry tables. And most of the ministry tables are outreach to the community. So some of the ones we've had in the past are Catholic Charities of Shenango County, the Verde View Equestrian Center. It's a horse ranch that takes youth, whether they're disabled, handicapped, or just whatever, and builds a relationship between the rider and the horse in a therapeutic way. And so that's one of the ministries that were there. The Rescue Mission Center was one of them last year. Path of Life, Rock Solid Youth Group, the Impact Project, which goes into the community, and if you're qualified financially and medically, it doesn't always have to be a medical issue or whatever, but they go into the community, and if you need a wheelchair ramp, if you need a roof, if you need a concrete pad to get the wheelchair on, if you're just financially not able, they come in and in a weekend, if you qualify, and build what you have a need for. So they're really being the hands and feet of God as well.
Nice. So I imagine the ministries that are there are not only there to reach out and to provide, but I imagine there are places to volunteer as well. If some of them are always looking for volunteers.
There definitely is. Even with the ministries, it's provided. Moms Next was one of the ministries as well, and we're always looking for new ministries because we like to fill that up, and it provides a vehicle. The festival does for the community to find out. And find
to see what's out there,
to find
where
these
they can
resources.
serve, yeah.
And even be if they don't need the resource, that they can volunteer their time with that ministry.
Right. So they would contact you. I'm going to put up all your contact information. But are you the ministries guy?
I am the ministry outreach coordinator, so they would contact me.
Alrighty. So, if you're going to tell people why you should get involved in something like this, why should you volunteer? Any one of our listeners, what would you tell them?
To really just be a servant and have a servant's heart has something. It just gives you a sense of worth within inside you. But more so that there are more people out there than you really realize that really need the help. And if you came to one of the festivals one of the years, you would find out that there are. I mean, we try to keep this totally free, and that's difficult to do. Some of the things we'll get in later on that we're offering this year that's fun to do there. It's pretty impressive. So I would say would definitely expand you as a person.
Okay. Carl, what do you think? Why would you tell people to get involved?
Well, because it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Amen.
There's the scriptural. And Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men to me. So it's got a ministry. We are going to present. There's one in the Spirit is kind of our phrase. There's one church, one Bible, one Spirit. We get together in a field and just all worship and praise and share our experiences and benefits. The people don't know that these ministries are out there, so I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, Ken, you got anything to add?
Just that it's crazy how it works, because you come in with an attitude to serve, and sometimes you walk away with more than you give.
Yeah, amen.
That's the thing, and just showing that you're not the only one that may be having troubles. You may not be the only one that is having a situation go on in your family life or at home. Come there, get a chance maybe to get away from that for a little while. serve other people, and like I said, you turn around and walk away with more than you.
Yeah,
than
it lifts you
than
up.
you give. Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Well, I'm going to say a little bit about the actual where and when of this. We've got the Spirit Fest, July 13th from 4 to 9 p.m., right? So it's an evening thing. We are at, I have the address of 1403 State Highway 235 in Harpersville. And on the screen there, we have actually your website, which will give you more directions, I'm sure. It's www.the, which is THEE, spiritfest.com. And they can go there and get all kinds of information on how to actually get involved. On the screen here, I also have numbers. If someone wants to volunteer in any way, shape, or form, or they have a band, or they have, they're interested in the children's area or being one of the ministries. We've got phone numbers here. We have David Cook, who is, he does a whole bunch of things here, ministries and what else, Dave? What do you do?
Organize. We have to direct where they set up, and the kind of cool thing is the space is sponsored for that individual, so we supply and set up the power.
Okay, so they can reach you at 607-624-3942. That's David. Yep. Ken, you're in charge of bands.
Yeah, the music ministry. Getting them involved with the music part of it, where they set up, what we need to supply for them, and also line them up with our sound guy. So
and what if it's not music? If it's some other sort of entertainment, you would be open maybe to that, to chat with them?
Definitely, definitely, because we have the mimes. So they come and they do 2, 3, 4-minute skits with no talking.
Okay, so you can be reached at 607-316-9582?
Correct.
All right. And we have to line up volunteers. I imagine this takes a lot to put on, to set up, to tear down, and all that?
It does.
Okay, so we have Gail Silphy.
Yep, that's my wife.
All right, and Gail would be reached at 607-656-7619. Then I have the children's area, which, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the children's area has a separate its own little tent off in the main tent, and that area is set up with games and prizes. And actually, Ken's daughter, Nicole Pickard, will be running that this year, and she's always looking for volunteers as well.
Awesome.
So, and there's a few other little smaller tents among that, but that children area is pretty big. We tried to make that as fun as possible. This year we have a clown and face painting going on that's moving within the crowd,
and anything inside that tent is free for the kids to come and play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it's a lot of little things that we like to let them do. I think we have also signed on horse pony rides.
Yeah, there's going to be horseback rides this year, and
Horse pony
a
rides,
pony,
yeah.
either drawn cart or pony rides. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
got to
the
keep
balloon-
kids
balloon
entertained
festival.
so the adults can stay. You don't
Yeah.
want them to get all funned out too early.
That's right.
So Nicole can be reached. I have 607-237-3276.
Correct.
All right. So, well, moving on here, maybe you can tell me about some of the events of the day. You start at 4 o'clock.
Yes, well, we like to move the ministries in there about 3 to avoid any parking issues, and there's plenty of land there, 26 acres. So basically this year we've tried to offer some things that are very fun, eventful, and inviting. One of the things we're doing this year is why we moved the time back to a later time is we're going to have fireworks, a display of fireworks that follow that 9 o'clock thing. And again, it's all for free. But this year as well, we just thought it would be a great experience. Myself, I've never rode a hot air balloon, but boy, I would like to go up in one. So I believe this year we're going to try to find enough sponsorship to go up in a hot air balloon and just be raised up 70 feet in one on a tethered balloon and brought back down. And again, that'll run for only about 2 hours because it's kind of expensive, but it's an opportunity for someone to enjoy something.
A little more of an experience, something that maybe they wouldn't otherwise go and do.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Some other things, obviously the entertainment, the music. We have TLC Pizzeria, which is sponsoring the music stage this year, is involved with a lot of the food that's going there. And we've really tried to just show compassion and love and be the hands defeated Christ and offer food for free. And so,
Nice.
yeah, we have a little another little tent area that does like funnel cakes and ice pops and popcorn that we just give it away because we know it's tough. It's tough out there.
Tough times, yes, definitely. Well, okay, so you've got sponsors and you've got, ministries themselves. I've got, do you have things for youth? I know that's a big thing.
We do. This year, Coventry Fire Department is involved like last year, and they kind of like to do the kid thing too, as far as games and stuff to do. They do something, hose fights, target fights with the hoses, and so there's games for even younger kids. But as far as ministries going, the Boy Scouts usually come up the night prior because it's such a large event. It does take prep time. The sound guy comes the day before, and the Boy Scouts come up and we lay out the property and the land, and they're involved with helping us park the vehicles. And so there's other, Youth for Christ has a table, and they're a ministry table up there too, and they give a lot of things away. One of the camps that we have, I don't know if it's Path of Life or Good News Camp, that is a ministry that comes. They give away 2 weeks free usually at their camp, a week here and a week there, so a couple people have a chance to win that. Through a raffle, and they're one of the ministry tables that come up and sit there. So we do try to target youth, but family as a whole. We know that if a little one tugs on mom and dad's shirt to come, mom and dad usually come.
Yeah. So would you encourage even churches, if they have some sort of ministry that they want to partner with you?
We would love to talk to them about that. We don't try to have ministries that are per se for sale, things to sell. We want it to be outreach to the community.
Basically just to meet with people and explain to them what you have, how you can help them.
Sure.
Or how they can help you,
Right.
even.
Absolutely.
It might be a good thing for churches for an outreach to bring a busload of kids or something up to enjoy the event.
The
or
whole
something
day,
too.
yeah. Spend the afternoon.
Especially kids that don't necessarily be churched or whatever, and they can use it as a outreach to get them out of the city or out wherever.
Okay, so you guys can be found, I think you said on Facebook also.
Yeah, you can,
right?
you can check us out on Facebook. We have photos there and some video there.
Okay.
Picture of the property and some of the...
So we can get to your Facebook from your website?
Yes, you can. There's a link on the home web page, and it's kind of simple. It's thespiritfest.com after Facebook. Leave the .com out, put that after Facebook. But
sounds like a plan. Okay, so we get as we're moving along here. What are your hopes for the future of Spirit Fest? Where do you see this going down the road?
Oh boy.
Kenny and I, just quickly, when Three Crosses Bear, the band, played there the first year, we were told there wouldn't be many people, and we weren't expecting that. We didn't do it for that reason. And God kind of laid it on our heart after we had played strongly that it needed some organization and that God would build it. And it just really touched Ken and I in that area. And so we said, Carl, man, God's nudging us, shoving us towards doing something to further God's kingdom and to really make a difference here. And Carl told us the story of how he had prayed and dropped to his knees and had given the land to God to do with what he will. Ken and I just felt the need to really to build this up, to be a festival. And so we had went to a couple different things. There's Kingdom Bound, which is out west, held in a park where 60,000 Christians come and gather and celebrate Christ. And then we had went to a Creation Fest down in Shirley, Pennsylvania, where there's, I don't know,
100,000.
Yeah, 80 to 100,000 people just camp out. And so we went to them and said, man, maybe God could build this to be something like that. And Carl has such enough land there that we just really praying strongly that we could maybe open up for some free camping there on that property. And
so ultimately, you'd have people maybe even have a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We would
Yeah.
make it
Turn it
a
into-
free camping weekend.
Yeah, some of the things we've talked about is doing a Saturday or Friday, Saturday, where they come in Friday night, they can camp overnight. Friday night, we talked about being it really more, taking it back a few years and slowing down the music a little bit, maybe a little bluegrass maybe a little hymnal stuff. That maybe some of the older generation who still get out and about and want to do things can come and join us. And maybe stay overnight on Saturday or Friday night, and then Saturday we kick it up a notch with more music towards the younger generation, and then have the kids zones and all that stuff going on for the whole weekend.
You never know. You could wake up on Sunday, do a sunrise service.
That's right. Absolutely.
You know, we're hoping and praying and waiting for the Lord to send us something. You know, the property for the camping has not been developed. There's a nice pond there. Who knows? We could get a lifeguard on duty there. But we're always looking for sponsorship. You know, many years, and I got to say this, Carl, you know, a few of us really in a small way have put up monetary money to cover this cost, but Carl's really put up a big amount in years past to cover the financial end of it. And I don't know, God's going to send us somebody to develop this land, and we're going to have these loops and camping. We're going to dig these wells and provide water to the site, and financially be in a place where we can afford the insurance to do that on the property, and just grow this into this big fun event. For just as long as we can keep it free. We would love to keep it free.
Okay. Bringing people together with music and ministries and
Food.
awesome.
Yep.
Food.
Yeah. You can get those young people, I hear, with food and music.
That's right. That's right.
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me.
And sometimes people don't think you can have fun and worship, and we want to get that to be part of it too, is that you get together and you're all worshiping God and serving God. You can have a lot of fun and do it together.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like Dave said in the beginning, it's not about the Christian person. We love to have them there, but we want everybody there. We're trying to set up a family atmosphere for them to come and have a good time and be able to do it without those other things in life, knowing they can do it. I mean, maybe we've got to say as a sober situation. Don't need all the other stuff, the negative stuff. We can do it in a good atmosphere, have a great time, and we just want to show the love. I think when I grew up, your neighbors helped neighbors. We don't do that anymore. We need to get back doing that.
Yeah.
That's how we think about it.
We need to talk to each other and help each other and lean on each other.
Absolutely.
We're one in the Spirit. That's our catchphrase, one in the Spirit.
And in fact, that verse is John 6:63, where it says, "It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profit nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life." This year we're trying to also organize a couple of motorcycle runs, scripture runs.
Oh, scripture runs.
Yeah,
I like that.
to raise funds for that and offer them, who gets the most scriptures right, something, a nice meal and
So you wouldn't mind having some contact with some motorcycle groups in the area?
We would love it. We would love it.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we would love it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go through the information again here in case somebody didn't catch it. We've got the Spirit Fest, July 13th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you need any information, you can go to www.thespiritfest.com. And we have the gentleman here, David Cook, 624-3942, Ken Picard, 316-9582. You can contact Gail Silphy, 656-7619, and Nicole Picard, 237-3276. Those are all contacts to get you in touch so that you can, whether you have a ministry or you want to sponsor or you have a group that maybe you want to bring out here to this event. If you have a church that you want to maybe gather up people and come up as a busload of people, that would be awesome, I believe.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, can you think of any closing remarks here? We have a couple minutes that...
We like I say, as far as sponsorship, we have different levels of sponsorship that we do. And this year we're offering many things, so it's a win-win situation for those that do partner with us. Some radio air spots that we'll be running the commercial and the ad about Spirit Fest on. And shirts. Carl has a shirt from last year, just to show you the back of the shirt. Sponsors are on the shirt as well, and they're given away at the Spirit Fest as well.
Okay.
There's fireworks to follow. It's a day of fun.
family atmosphere.
Yeah.
And as the families come in and park, they will receive tickets for free drink and free hot dog or hamburger as part of the event. Because like we talked about, we're trying to do all this free as possible,
Right.
Through our sponsorships. So when they come in, 99.9% of it's free. And then the firemen will, I think we're still in the process of working it out, but the firemen are going to sell some chicken, but that money is going to go to our donation
So
for
it's
that
a
year.
fundraiser.
It's a
Yeah,
fundraiser.
it's going to be for that roof for the United Methodist Church in Coventry. So I think that's the only thing we're actually selling, but everything else is free.
So ultimately, you may have posters for this.
Yes.
And perhaps we can get those distributed around the area.
Absolutely.
And actually, it would probably be good if you could print those from your website.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a great idea.
it is.
I talked to our web guy.
There you go.
We're back.
We're back. That's going to be your motto from
That's
now
the
on.
inside
We're
thing,
back.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't think of anything really, as far as your sponsors here, I'm noticing too, you guys seem to involved so many different types of, we've got a radio station? Was
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Canny.
WDLM 95.7 FM.
Okay.
Last year, our Plum Tree Crafts was one of the sponsors of the kids tent area. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just many ministries. We have Life Choices joined us the year before last. We even had the Christian Motorcycle Association join us.
Yep.
The Pocket Testament League, they come and share how to share your faith. So,
How to share your faith.
how to share
Yep.
your faith.
You guys know nothing about that, right?
I couldn't tell you the first thing about that.
You share it by living it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
right. Candle House Ministries Teen Challenge is also another one up there. So, and they're
Oh, great.
they just had a beautiful program out in Vestal.
Yeah. And the ministries are there to help those in need. So that's what they're there for. So.
All right. Well, I thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. And I thank you for joining us. And may your day be blessed.
Thanks for having us, Kelly.